Hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the medical surgical nursing 2 for the GNM second years. So in this medical surgical nursing we are going to discuss about the unit 9, that is nursing management of patient with musculoskeletal disorders. So in this the abnormal conditions we are discussing. So in this one there is a dislocation. So today topic is dislocation. It is one of the abnormal condition in the musculoskeletal disorders. So dislocation means there is a joint dislocation is also called luxation. So joint dislocation, it is also called as luxation. Joint dislocation means it can be located from the normal place in a abnormal position. So there is a dislocated means from the normal position to the abnormal position the bone joint can be located. So the joint dislocation is also called as luxation. So joint dislocation, it is also called as luxation and occurs when there is a abnormal separation in the joint when two or more joint bones meet. So there is a one or two bones can be meet one and so there is a abnormal separation in the joint. So because of this dislocation, there is a abnormal separation can be occur in the where the two bones can be meet. So the two bones where it can be meet, there is a separation from the normal position. So it is called as dislocation. So bone, there is a partial dislocation is referred to as subluxation. So there is a partial dislocation. So half of the dislocation, it is also called as subluxation. So the partial dislocation is called as subluxation. So dislocation definition, it includes a joint dislocation is also called luxation. Joint dislocation, it is also called as luxation, and when there is abnormal separation in the joint where two or more bones meet. So there is a abnormal separation can be occur in the joints where the one or two bones can be meet, and there is a partial dislocation, it is also called as subluxation. So next one is causes. So the causes, it includes it can occur in the contact sports such as football and the hockey, and in sports that may involve falls. So the causes, it includes it includes sports. So they are football and the hockey players. So because of during the playing there is a maybe chances to get the fall. So because of the falling there causes the dislocation. So the because of falling the patient will have the dislocation. So who are in the become participating in sports like football and hockey, so they get more chances to have the dislocations. And next one is basketball players and the football players also commonly dislocate the joint in their fingers and the hands. So there is a basketball players and there is a football players, they are having more chances to get the dislocations in the hands and in the fingers. So because there is a football players and there is a basketball players, what will they do means there is a slightly hitting the ball. So because of this there is a hitting the ball, they get the chances to get the dislocation of the joints in the fingers and the hands. So there is a causes includes the basketball players and the football players also commonly dislocate the joints in their hands and fingers because there is a striking the ball with their hands and fingers. So because they are having more chance to get the dislocations in the hands and fingers. Next one is motor vehicle accidents. So because of the motor vehicle accidents also the dislocations can be occur in the joints. So it is about the causes, it includes the contact sports such as football players and the hockey players, they are more chance to get the dislocations because of falling. And next one is basketball players and the football players, they are commonly having the dislocation of the joints. So because of in the hands and the fingers. So because of the striking the ball with the fingers and they are having the chances to get the dislocation in the fingers and hands. There is a motor vehicle accidents. And next one is risk factors. Risk factors, it includes the susceptibility to falls. So there is a because of falling, there is a dislocation can be occur in the joints, and there is a hereditary. So there is a family members, if you are having any, there is a dislocation, it is also one of the causes for the dislocation, hereditary. And next one is sports participation. So there is a participation in the sports, and it is also one of the risk factor for the dislocation. And the motor vehicle accident. So because of the accident, there is a dislocation of the joint can be occur. So risk factors include susceptibility to falls and hereditary and sports participation and motor vehicle accident. So next one is clinical manifestations. In this clinical manifestations includes the pain. So the patient will have the severe pain and deformity of the joint area. So there is a deformity of the joint area. There is a dislocation of the joint can be occur, and there is a reduced muscle strength. So there is a muscle strength can be decreased, and bruising or redness of the joint area. Bruising means there is a accumulation of blood under the skin. So because of the injury or any accident, there is a accumulation of blood under the skin. So because of this accumulation of blood, it causes the redness of the area. So there is a redness can be occur around the joint area. So there is a one of the clinical manifestation. And difficulty moving joint. So there is a movement can be difficulty. So there is the patient is not able to move the joint. So because of the severe pain, the patient is not able to move the joint, and there is a stiffness of the joint can be occur. So it is about the clinical manifestations includes there is a pain, deformity of the joint area, and reduced muscle strength, and bruise or redness of the joint area, difficulty moving joint, and the stiffness. So it is about the clinical manifestations. And next one is diagnostic evaluation. Next one is the diagnostic evaluation. It includes the physical examination. So by the physical examination, we can assess the dislocation of the patient joint. So next one is X-ray. So the X-ray can be done to diagnose the dislocation, where the dislocation is present at the joint, and we can identify by the X-ray. So to identify the dislocation of the joint, we can done X-ray. And next one is MRI scan. So MRI scan, nothing but there is a magnetic resonance imaging to assess the damage to the soft tissue structures and around a dislocated joint. So around the dislocated joint, there is a soft tissue damage can be occur or not. So soft tissue damage is present or not, we can identify by the MRI scan. So it is diagnostic evaluation includes the physical examination and X-ray to diagnose the where the dislocation is present, to diagnose it by the X-ray. And next one is MRI scan. There is a magnetic resonance imaging. It can be assess the damage to the soft tissue structures, and it can be around a dislocated joint. So soft tissues can be around the dislocated joint. So the structures can be damaged or not, we can identify by the MRI scan. Next one is management. So management, it includes the reduction. So management is very important to treat the dislocation. So it includes the reduction. So first one is reduction. During this process, some gentle maneuvers to help the bones back into the position. So there is a reduction. It is making the incision, and it is making incision, it can be make the small become, it decrease the size, or it decrease the size to keep in a normal position. So during this process there is a gentle maneuvers can be held bones back into the position. So because of this gentle maneuvers the bones can be back into their position, and depending on the amount of pain and swelling need a local anesthesia and even a general anesthesia. So in the local anesthesia only particular area where the dislocation is present, so on the in this particular area only anesthesia can be given. In the general anesthesia means there is a total body can be anesthetized. So in this, according to the pain and the swelling of the patient, there is a anesthesia can be given to the patient to position the back bone of the bones can be positioned into the normal position. So it is about the reduction. And next one is immobilization. Immobilization, after the bones are back in their right position, immobilize joint with a splint or sling. So after the bone is become position in a normal, so after that we can immobilize the joint with a splint or sling. So the splint or sling, it means it can be support to the dislocated joint for the immobilization. So there is a sling for several weeks. For the several weeks the splint or sling can be used to support the dislocated joint, and there is it can be depend on the joint involved and the damage to the nerves and the blood vessels and the supporting tissues. So the sling or splint, how many days it can be used, it can be depend upon the muscles, the dislocation, how the joint can be involved, the blood vessels are involved or not. So according to the depend upon the joint involved, so there is a using of the splint and the sling. So it can be about the immobilization. And there is a next one is surgery. So the dislocated bones back into their correct position, surgery is necessary if you have recurring dislocation, especially in shoulders. So surgery can be can be done the dislocated bones back into their normal position. So there is if there is any chances to get the reoccurring of the dislocation, then we go for the surgery. So there is a reoccurring of the dislocation can be occur, we can go for the surgery. And there is a recurring dislocation, especially it can be occur in the shoulder joint. So if there is a need, we can go for the surgery. So next one is rehabilitation. So rehabilitation means there is a after splint has removed to restore joint range of motion and the strength. So there is a after rehabilitation means there is a coming to the normal position. So after the splint has removed, so splint has removed and the restored joint range of motion and the strength. So by after removing the splint, and we can restore the joint movement. So we can restore the joint movement and strength. So we can increase the muscle strength and movement of the joint by the exercises. So it is about the rehabilitation. There is a management, it includes a reduction, immobilization, surgery and rehabilitation. Next one is nursing management. It includes the maintain affected joint in prescribed position. So the doctor which position is advised to the patient, so that position can be provided to the patient. So maintain affected joint in a prescribed position. So affected joint can be in a prescribed position. So next one is medicate before procedures and activities. So during the any procedure or any activities, and we should administer the medications. So the nurse has to be administered the medications before any procedure or any activities. Next one is support the position with pillows. So the position should be supported by the pillows. And next one is demonstrate and assist with the transfer techniques and use of mobility aids. So the nurse has to be first demonstrate and assist with the transfer techniques. So the how they use to mobility aids. So how the patient should use the mobility aids like walkers and the wheelchairs, how they have to be used, the nurse has to be first demonstrate and there is a assist with the transfer techniques. So the nurse has to be first to demonstrate how the mobility aids can be used. And next one is perform and assist with range of motion exercise to unaffected joint. So which is unaffected joint? There is a, the nurse has to be perform and assist with range of motion exercises. So there is a exercises. So the nurse has to be assist for the exercises which is affected unaffected joint and use strict aseptic techniques. There is a using of strict aseptic techniques. So while dressing, the nurse has to be maintain the aseptic techniques to prevent the infection. So next one is assess the skin color and the temperature and note presence of erythema or inflammation. So the nurse has to be assess for the wound site. So there is any inflammation or any redness are present or not, the nurse has to be assess the color of the skin and temperature. So it is about the nursing management. So it completes the dislocation. Thank you.